Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listener participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Coming up next, right here on Talk Today, we'll be hearing from the Minister for Health, Environment and Sustainability. And we'll also have some open line so we can talk about what's on your mind. Or the threat of measles, Cayman's population surge and demographics, or maybe who's allowed to fish in Cayman. Talk Today, next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Charles Glidden. Thanks for joining me here on Talk Today. If you're out and about, you know it's another hot one out there, typical July weather. Another day in paradise. Or as Percy Worms used to sing, where we live is right next door to heaven. You remember that one, don't you? I guess if you read some of the comments on social media, paradise has been lost or overrun. But I can't think of any other place to really move to, where another place that I would really like to live other than Cayman. Even though Cayman, you know, is really, really expensive. I thought about going to the UK, but no. As a matter of fact, you know, one of our regular callers, he calls in and he lives in the UK. A cousin of mine, she is retired in Panama because the cost of living is so much less in Panama than it is in Cayman. I visited her there, and it's okay, but, you know, it's not the right fit for me. I was glad to get back when I did. Cayman is a great place if you can make the money to meet the cost of living. But, you know, there are people who have a tough time making ends meet. I really feel it for young people, though. What they have to pay for, you know, just a little starter home, a condo, a small house, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. If you're looking in that region, you might find something you would want between $300,000 and $400,000, but it's more likely to be over $400,000. Paradise is expensive, especially when you compare what $400,000 can get you in other places, you know. And that's how it goes. We live in a great place, but you got to be able to make some money. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the Minister of Health. So stay with me.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
In accordance with the Standards in Public Life Act, persons in public life must submit their 2025 declarations to the Register of Interest by 30th of July. Persons in public life include members of Parliament, senior public servants, and members of governing bodies of statutory authorities and government companies. Failure to submit a required declaration is an offence under the Act and can result in penalties. For more information or to file your annual declarations to the Register of Interest, visit www.standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky/Register of Interest by 30th of July 2025.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today, and joining me in the studio now is the Honorable Katherine Ebanks-Wilkes, Minister for Health, Environment and Sustainability. And the government has issued instructions for drafting legislation that would restrict who can fish in Cayman, among other things, I would think. And she is here to talk to us about that. Minister, welcome to Talk Today.
Thank you, Mr. Glidden. Nice to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
What brought this on? What made the government think that we needed to have this kind of legislation?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I guess just to start and for a bit of background, there was legislation many years back, regulations that did restrict fishing for specific for Caymanians, but that fell away when that primary legislation was repealed and replaced with the National Conservation Act. So since the National Conservation Act was passed, I think it was in 2013, those regulations became non-existent, or they didn't have any governing legislation per se. And it was something that we started to have conversations about while I was the minister under the previous administration. But of course, this new administration now has taken it on because we're seeing, an increasing concern as it relates to the fisheries, the fishing population, those individuals who rely on the fly fishing as a tourist attraction. And just simply, residents on a whole just concerned about the fact that there's just too much take. And so that is where the conversation, started to, I guess, begin under this new term, with members raising the concerns, and we having discussions about, making sure that we put in place protective measures to ensure that the fisheries or the fish population is protected for future, this generation obviously, but our future generations that would be coming behind us.
So was there evidence of people actually overfishing?
Yes, we get complaints all the time. As elected members, we are often sent pictures, not just with fish, with Wilks. I can't remember the name of you might know. There's this little mussel that they find on the iron shore. It's not little, very difficult to remove them. But even the mussels, there certainly has been certainly a lot of complaints from residents with overtaking sprats, fries, seeing them being taken in vast amounts, from our mainly transient workers. And it's something that we wanted to put a control over. The other thing is, I just want to make it clear to the public that we are at a stage of drafting instructions. So the government hasn't gone and made a decision in haste without consulting with the relevant stakeholders, meaning the boat operators. We want to make sure that we obviously protect our natural resources, but we don't want to, cause a further problem in the process. We want to get it right. And, in having discussions around the table in cabinet and caucus, this isn't something that is unusual. If you visit any of the other Caribbean countries or even within some of the United States and various jurisdictions, you are required to get a fishing permit if you want to fish. And so that is what we are looking at doing, is implementing a permit process where you apply for a permit. And then in doing so, the fees generated from getting a permit would assist the government then with additional resources that are going to be required for enforcement. And while I catch my breath, I will say to you that is one of the some of the feedback that I have seen since this news was published last night is some of the residents were saying, well, a lot of it goes down to enforcement, and the government is aware of that. And we know that in passing legislation that restricts fishing from the shoreline and that requires persons to, have permits to catch and release, we're going to have to increase our staff complement as it relates to the enforcement arm. And so we're prepared to do that. But the most important thing is to, make sure that we are, recognizing the challenges that we have and collaborating with, the various stakeholders and agencies.
Now, this permit regime that you're considering, does that mean that Caymanians would have to pay for a permit also?
No, sir. The permit is required for non-Caymanians.
Now, getting back to the overfishing, I know years ago I used to hear of people using chlorine.
Yes.
And they have a PVC
yes.
pipe and they drop it in there and they stun a whole school of fish.
Right. I remember hearing that too.
Does that kind of thing still go on?
I really don't know. I mean, I haven't heard of that. There haven't been reports directed to me as minister. And whilst the Department of Environment has an enforcement arm, that isn't information that has become available to me. So again, I can't really speak to say that is taking place, but that certainly would be something that would be frowned upon, and I'm sure there are penalties in place for that, because you have bleaching, and that would impact coral, and we are already having a crisis with the water temperatures, and we're seeing the fading of our corals, and certainly would imagine that anybody caught with that type of exercise would be penalized.
Now, previously, there had been a restriction where people who were not Caymanian actually had to get a permit and pay $400, I think it was.
Right.
And the courts ruled against that, saying it was discriminatory. Does the government not think that this may go the same way?
We talked about that a bit, and one of the things that we have discussed as a cabinet is that the court actually didn't rule that it was discriminatory. There wasn't a ruling on it. It was sort of set aside. And the Constitution also allows for us to protect. And in doing that, we can do it in a way where it's not discriminatory, because we're not preventing anyone from fishing. We're saying that you have to have a license. There are certain areas where if you're offshore and you have a permit, you can still catch and keep. But again, this is all preliminary. Mm-hmm. So, as we meet with various stakeholders, we will determine what the potential nuances could be. Because we want to make sure that when we roll this out this time, there aren't any challenges put in place.
So break this down for us now. So there's not going to be a blanket ban on non-Caymanians fishing?
Well, there's going to be a requirement that if you want to fish, you have to get a permit. Mm-hmm. And the way that we've been looking at, so some of the concerns that were raised previously when it was discussed under the previous administration was the verification process. How do you verify? And so that was where things sort of stopped. And what we've been looking at recently is, ensuring that as Minister Miles and his team works on addressing Caymanian employment or Caymanian unemployment and looking at immigration, rolling out a mandatory mandatory ID for persons who are on work permits. So that is the way in which, and in doing so, also putting conditions in place for work permit holders that would relate to ensuring that you comply with these type of regulations.
Is that national ID thing still?
So the national ID, yes, the national ID, and that doesn't fall under my remit, but yes, it is still ongoing. The e-services is still working on that, and I think that the first phase of it, from what we've been initially discussing, has been to look at starting with immigration and persons who are here transient. It is presently right now an opt-in program. Mm-hmm. So I guess it is a bit challenging to monitor everyone who is, if it's a national ID program, but it's voluntary, you're still not able to really track and get the data that you would if it was something that was rolled out, like how a lot of other jurisdictions have it.
Yes, you must have it. When I first heard about this, I was thinking, I don't know, it's something about, well, someone has been here 5 years, and they can't go down on the inshore and throw out a line. Somehow it doesn't strike me as fair. That you've been living here for 5 years, 2 years, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't go down on the Iron Shore and throw out a line to catch a fish.
Yeah, and I guess you're being devil's advocate, and that is good for discussion today. And while it might not be seen as fair, we certainly have to look at the bigger picture and what is going on. And what is going on right now is that we have a lot of take off the shoreline, and so we are seeing a decrease in the fishing population, and we want to make sure that we're not being reactive. And when we get to a stage where you don't see these fish presence, then we're trying to deal with it. So we're looking at it from a proactive measure and saying, okay, well, how do we protect this for future generations? And again, like I stressed earlier, we are in the initial phases of discussions, and as we go out and have stakeholder conversations, if every other Caymanian feels the way that you feel, well then, that's something that we wouldn't move forward with, right? Because we want to make sure that whatever decisions are being made by the government is the interest, or we are fulfilling the will of the people. And I can say to you that there has been an overwhelming response from the public, where a lot of residents are seeming to be very pleased with the fact that we are at least looking at this and trying to find a way to control the amount of take. And I mean, it also relates to, there's some areas where we're looking at, requiring or saying no take. For example, which I was chuckling about it when we were having a conversation the other day, because I don't really know of a lot of natives that would take tarpon,
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is an area or a fish that we're now seeing that is under threat. So again, putting a no take to say that no tarpon could be. It would have to be a catch and release. Sorry, Chalo, Mr. Glidden.
That's okay.
It would have to be a catch and release for certain fish. So again, I'm not even going to start calling out. I'm learning about some of the scientific names of some of these fish, the pelagic fish and bony fish, and so not going to start calling out categories and saying where we're at, because it is preliminary phase. And the purpose of me coming on today was just to say that what we are doing is we're looking at protecting our natural heritage, and our marine environment is essential to our culture, to our identity, and to our economy. And this policy is really about long-term sustainability and ensuring that our marine life remains for future generations of Caymanians. Now, what that looks like, the public will have a part to play in that. And as we start, we're going to initially start with having stakeholder conversations, with persons directly involved, persons in the industry. And once we roll that out, then of course, it will be something that will be discussed with the wider public before it is approved.
This, as it stands right now, is this only covering marine life? I mean, I know a friend of mine does a lot inland fishing in ponds and such.
Yeah, it doesn't cover anything about, of course, again, this is just drafting instructions.
Yeah, right.
So we hadn't considered anything from ponds, but in having these discussions, that might be something that stakeholders might say, well, you all failed to cover this area. And so we would incorporate that. And I think that what I want to share with the public today while I'm on the radio is that this is where I feel there's been, now I know in certain ministries you've seen a lot of it. It's one of the areas that I would like to improve on as minister, with stakeholder engagement and allowing the public to really see how their voice can really be heard. Because you can vent on Facebook all day, but it's when you get to situations where the government is coming on and saying, we're looking at drafting instructions to draft a piece of legislation that relates to whatever it is. becoming aware of that and lending your voice, especially if you're familiar with the particular subject matter, and sharing your thoughts and concerns on how you feel it could be, rolled out in a way that would be fit for purpose, that would be fair. That's where I want to lead from my space as Minister of Health and Environment. And of course, the space where I know we keep hearing sustainability, and a lot of people associate it with the environment, but it's a broader view of the well-being of the people. So that's really what I wanted to come on today and just say, oftentimes we're hearing about all of the mundane and sad and dreary news that's circulating, and I thought that it would be nice to just share with the public that these are considerations that we're looking at rolling out fairly quickly.
I know also that with the influx of different nationalities into Cayman, we have people who, in their culture, what they eat, we would not eat. Is that part of the problem? Because I know you mentioned Wilks, and we eat Wilks, but other
mussels. Yeah, I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, I forget it also.
Yes.
But and even some of the reef fish that are not considered by us to be food.
Yeah, like tarpons.
Sergeant majors and stuff like that. They're just beautiful fish that I guess the diving industry likes to take people down and show. But certain cultures will eat those fish.
Yes.
Is that part of the driving force behind this?
Yes, and also looking at the fact that we do have an issue with cost of living, and a lot of people who, especially our transient workers, are having challenges. So it's much easier to just go out on the shoreline and catch dinner than it is to find, money to go and buy food from a supermarket. And of course, it's much healthier. And it's the way that we all have seen our ancestors have grown, our country is living off the ground and out of the sea. But we have to make sure that it's controlled. Otherwise, we're going to wake up one day and there's not going to be a vibrant fish population. And then somebody's going to say, why didn't someone try to put some protective measure in place before now? So that's what this is about. It's about protecting, our Caymanian heritage.
All right. We're going to take a break, but we'll be right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're talking to the Minister of Health, Environment and Sustainability, the Honorable Katherine Ebanks-Wilkes. And as you may have heard, the government has issued drafting instructions for the restricting of who is allowed to fish in Cayman waters and take marine life. And I think you wanted to reiterate just how this is proposed as it stands now, which is in the beginning stages, about who needs a permit, etc.
Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to reiterate that this would not apply to Caymanians, and that it is essentially really just at a preliminary phase. The Cabinet has approved draft and instructions now for regulations, and what we will do is we will speak with stakeholders to ensure that the regulations are fit for purpose, and as we spoke about earlier, addresses some of the concerns that might be viewed as being unfair. And also, you know, as it relates to implementation, one of the things that we have been looking at as with the ministry and department is that, you know, the implementation would need to be perhaps staged and deliberate in a sense to ensure that our readiness matches, you know, where we're at with enforcement. So to one of the discussions that you and I were having while we were on break is just making sure that, you know, the capacity as it relates to the budget to ensure that we have the relevant enforcement officers at hand would be in place. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. This is the first stage, just to let the public know that this is something that we are looking at. And what we are doing is we're looking at finalizing cost estimates, including enforcement mechanisms and digital permitting systems. And this analysis is ongoing, which will shape the funding decisions. And as you and I were discussing while on break, one of the methods for paying or resourcing the enforcement would come from this permitting system.
So I was wondering, you're going to have to fund the enforcement of this. Would it not be easier to have those funds if there was universal permits required, that anybody who wants to fish in Cayman waters has to have a license? Would that not generate more revenue?
But I think that goes back to the discussion about it being maybe phased, right? And I think we start here. We start with this, and it could be where the government might have to come back and say that, or it could be that in our discussion phase with the public might, if that's the appetite, to start from that approach. But the one thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that this is something that is supported. We don't want to roll out a mechanism that is intended to, you know, protect our culture and our heritage, and Caymanians actually, you know, feel quite the opposite. So it's one of the things that we have to balance delicately to ensure that we find the right approach.
So the idea as it stands right now, Caymanians will be exempt from any kind of permit. People on non-Caymanians, that they will be able to get a permit, but just for catch and release?
Offshore line. Shoreline fishing, catch and release. And then obviously if you go on some of the boat excursions where you do the deep sea fishing and there's certain fish that you catch and keep, those individuals would be allowed to keep the fish, but of course they'd have to have a permit. So again, that's sort of the thought process, and that's what was contemplated in the draft and instructions, was to consider these elements, and now it's a matter of having discussions about it.
So has a timeline been set out for this as far as
rollout, you mean?
Yeah, and the consultation, when that would start?
Well, the rollout, I guess, where we're at, we were certainly looking at, getting as much done in this administration as we can. And as the Honourable Premier...
busy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as Honourable Premier says, working at pace, so certainly we want to do everything that we can and utilise the time available. With that being said, our legislative drafting team has a number of... drafting instructions that are coming through from the cabinet, and so it will be, I guess, based on the availability to get the regulations provided by the Attorney General's chambers, and once that's done, then yes, then we would. I guess I should share this with the public that typically regulations, they don't require the same consultation period as primary legislation. Regulations can actually, most regulations can be passed right in cabinet. But with this, before we get to the stage of approving it, we would be having consultation to make sure that it is something that is fit for purpose and supported by the residents of the country.
So yeah, the regulations, once the substantive legislation is passed, then regulations are added to that as it's seen fit, right?
Say that again?
Yeah. Once the substantive
yes.
legislation is passed, then regulations are added to that as it's seen fit.
Yes.
So they may come and go. Things can change.
Yes. So it's easier to change regulations than it is to change primary legislation, which has to go back through Parliament.
So you think this will be done this year?
Yes, we're hoping that this would be finished before the end of the year, for sure.
We do have a WhatsApp here. We're saying, good point on the fees. How do you know who is Caymanian anymore?
Yeah, I know.
The enforcement officer would never be able to tell anymore. They need it to be a blanket license, but maybe the fee is waived for Caymanians.
Again,
how does that sound to you?
Again, very good feedback, and something that will certainly be looked at in more detail with the team. But like I said, the way that the permit is being considered right now, it really hasn't been considered as a blanket policy. We were looking at it from a standpoint that we are able to put a requirement in place for those persons who are being regulated by the, what's it called now? The Ministry of Caymanian Employment and Immigration.
Although with that, I could see that leading to being tested in court, just as that $400 one was. You're going to waive the fees
right.
for Caymanians, but everybody else has to actually pay the fee. I could see someone testing that in court.
Well, I mean, we'll hope and pray that the way in which we do it, we wouldn't run into any legal challenges. But certainly, I think it is our responsibility to look at finding ways to protect our natural resources and our Caymanian heritage, which includes our people.
Well, we do want our grandchildren to be able to still go on the shore and fish.
Yes.
And if it's overfished, it won't be there.
Agreed.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. It's been nice to be here, and I just want to say while I'm on air that it's honor for me to sit here with you today. And I was sharing, just to those of you who are listening, I was saying to Mr. Glidden that I remember being a little girl riding to school in the car with my aunt and listening to Challo, and Catch You on the Rebound, and certainly that's Cayman. That's Cayman. And if someone was to say, tell me what it means to be Caymanian, it's waking up to that sort of,
Good morning, Cayman.
Good morning, Cayman. Yes. So I'm really happy to have had a chance to sit with you today, and I hope that we can do this again in the future. And to all those who are listening, I just want to wish each of you a pleasant afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. Today is Wednesday. So in an hour, we have cabinet. And so I'm going to scoot back over to government admin building and prepare for our cabinet meeting. But thank you for having me, Mr. Glidden.
Minister Katherine Ebanks-Wilkes, thank you. It's 1 o'clock. That means it's news time.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority. Cayman squash athletes are powering through the Island Games competition in Orkney with remarkable results after a complete sweep in the women's singles on Tuesday, with Jade, Emma and Mikola claiming gold, silver and bronze. Today's events bring even more success. In the men's doubles, Julian Jervis and Cameron Stafford secured gold. In the women's doubles, Jade and Emma dominated for gold. And in the mixed doubles, Jade and Cameron are headed to the finals shortly with high hopes of yet another top finish. Stay locked in as more hardware could be on the horizon. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, at least 20 people have been killed in a crush at an aid distribution center in southern Gaza run by the U.S. and Israel-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF. The organization and a local hospital say the GHF said 19 were trampled to death and one was stabbed amid a chaotic and dangerous search at its site in the Khan Yunis area. It added that it believed people armed and affiliated with Hamas provoked unrest. And Harry Potter actress Emma Watson has been banned from driving for 6 months after she was caught speeding. Watson, who played Hermione Granger in the film franchise, drove a blue Audi at 38 miles per hour in a 30 miles per hour zone in Oxford on the evening of July 31st last year. Watson already had 9 points on her license before the speeding incident occurred, the court heard. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born September 25th, 1947, at Watering Place, Cayman Brac, Royce Adolphus Dilbert was the firstborn son to Helen and Grace Dilbert, née Tibbets. Mr. Dilbert was a hard-working man who spent numerous years at sea, as well as employing his diverse skill sets on land. In 1979, he would marry Yvette Jackson and took employment with Cayman Brac Power and Light Company in 1981 as chief engineer, where he remained until his retirement in December of 2018. Heavily influenced by his wife, in 1982 he gave his heart to the Lord and joined her at Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he later served as interim pastor in 2002 to 2007, becoming pastor in 2017. Mr. Dilbert was a charter member of the Rotary Club of Cayman Brac, served as PTA president at Creek Primary School, worked with the youth in the community, president of the Veterans and Seamen Society, and was a member of the Development and Control Board Cayman Brac until his passing. Royce was a devoted father to 7 children, loved to fish, and had a passion for cars.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and this is Talk Today. I think we have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I just got a little bits and pieces of your conversation earlier.
Yeah.
In and out of the car and in the house now. I know you asked her a few questions in regards to, several things you mentioned. I just want to put my input into the fact that
sure.
Our population has grown rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
And
super rapidly.
Super rapidly, and we have just about every nationality living with us now, and everybody knows that everybody menu and appetite is different. But the Caribbean people they only got one appetite and a few menus that grows within our waters and what we know to eat and what not to eat, right? So I just want to say that I just hope that what they're planning on doing, it doesn't have to be turned around and be voted out. That is, it can't happen. It should have been it's overdue from a long time ago. And I say, as a Caymanian and wholehearted for my country, and the generation that's coming behind me and many more, we need to protect our waters because the rest of the world has their laws, their rules and regulations in regards to their water, what can be taken out and when can it be taken out. So I am just asking Ms. Catherine today and whoever else is involved in making this a must, don't even think of worrying about hurting anyone's feelings. Because when the rest of the world says it's time to go and look for so-and-so in the water, you go and you get the amount that they say. And if you get over the amount that they say, then you're in trouble with their law. And this is what do us now. We bring out laws and we do not maintain them. So I am just saying, we should not sit here and wonder and ponder who's going to be hurt, who's going to be disappointed, and why it only Caymanians. Mr. Glidden, sir,
Yeah.
I think it's time that we hear the word only Caymanians for a change, because we is the open college to whoever come to this island and they can get an education. And when I say education, open college, you know what I mean. I'm not talking about going to college here in the Cayman Islands, roaming the street and learning what you want to learn and do as you please, and no one to say it is wrong, and you just continue doing it until you mess it up for everybody. So it's messed up now. So I want to hear that's been passed in no favoritism, that they can do this and that at a certain time of the year. They need to keep on our water, period. Leave our waters alone. They cannot go to that water and eat things that we throw back in the water or just overlook in the water, because we know it's not eatable. And immigration and works and planning, all of those people are the fault for what is happening to our waters as well too, because then a lot of people is working here below minimum wage and they can barely support themselves, so they will go to the sea.
Yeah,
And
that's
no
one of
is
the reasons that they do it.
Yeah, and that's why they run to the sea and pull whatever they are familiar with out and use it as a meal. We know, as Caymanians, we would go and get a Johnny cake and eat with butter, or eat it just so and be thankful. We ain't going to pull nothing out of water that we know not eatable at the size it is, or not eatable, period. You understand?
Yeah,
So
they're
I
used
take
to
my
eating
hat
it
off.
in their country. That's
Yes, I take my hat off to this government, and I just hope that they pass that 110%, and no favoritism, and don't worry about what nobody got to say. It's only for Caymanians. The rest of the world got their laws and regulations, and they're abiding by them. We need some strict laws in this island, and I applaud this government for making sure that this happens for once and for all. I thank you so much for your time, and you have a great one.
Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
You have a good afternoon. Yeah, and in the conversation with the minister, we touched on, people of different cultures. They eat differently from what we do, and what we would say, we don't want that. They take it and they make a meal out of it, and sometimes those include the reef fish, which is they're more nice to look at than to eat as far as we're concerned. But they will take it, and because they are very small, you probably need a lot of them to make a meal, and they get overfished. And pretty soon, you won't be able to find those reef fish that are so beautiful. We have another caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chalo. You can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. 4x4.
Yeah, man. I say, man, I remember growing up in Northwest Point,
Uh-huh.
And that was a big part of my growing up on that iron shore, my friend.
Fishing off the iron shore. Do you remember what the name was, the minister? And I couldn't remember what the name of those other things were. Not the Wilks, but was something else that grows on the iron shore. You remember the name?
I think that's what we used to call sea socks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an animal that just, when he's on the iron shore, it's hard to get him off of there, man. But I don't know, Chalo, about this business, boy. It seems like one of our biggest weaknesses is enforcing our laws. The way I see it today, Charlo, we need a Coast Guard, my friend.
Well, we have a Coast Guard.
Well, Charlo, right now in my world, that's not really a Coast Guard. You understand? I'm talking about cutters. It's time that we get some cutters to patrol this island, my boy. Instead of sending our Caymanians 100 miles off of here to deal with them criminals on our water with them, my friend. We're not going to no Coast Guard to really deal with them. You understand?
Yeah.
I do understand where we have come from for so long, my boy, and moving up to levels in life as a financial center. And we still dependent on foreign security, and why we don't have some Coast Guard cutters, because we could have got them from England and America long time. But nobody even mentioned that.
Those babies cost a lot, though.
We need some boats to patrol around here, because anybody could come into our waters and fishing. Japanese, Chinese, anybody. Because they're doing it all over the world. You understand? In South America, Central America. But you know, if they're caught in South America or Central America, somebody will answer to them, like on those places. They're serious about their waters. Hello, I don't know who this Cayman kind business is benefiting, but I know for sure it's not benefiting the Caymanians, man. Trust me. And let me tell you today, I must say a word for the Jamaicans, right? They work hard in Cayman Islands, boy, and they're getting something off of it too. But let me tell you something. I do believe it's any other nationality that put back into our economy what Jamaica puts back here, boys. Jamaicans spend money here, man. You understand?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I do believe it's no other nationality, Charlo, that spend back in Cayman economy the money that Jamaicans spend back here. Trust me, my boy. You understand?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people talk about that they're sending money home and stuff, but they're living here, so they got to spend money.
Yeah. This minister, you know, she's the only one in her family that I don't know, and I hope to meet her one day. You understand? Because we all Ebankses. But I raised up in her family yard, you know, grandmother and grandfather and thing. A part of my coming up. Yes, man. So I hope to meet her one day, you know. We can try something, but right now, I don't really see it working, Charlo. I don't really see it. You see?
What, this thing with the permits?
Yeah. What I want to say, Charlo, what's going on in Cayman today, a part of what's going on here. In the night time when the Caymanians are sleeping, the hustling never stops, you know. The hustling is 24/7. You understand?
Yeah.
And fishing at night is one of the best times to fishing, in the night.
Cover up darkness.
So I don't know if it go work out, Charlo. I wish it could work out for a next generation to taste a conch or lobster, whatever it is. But why for the running?
Hello? Hello? Oh, I guess that call dropped there. So we have another caller. We'll go to another call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, Charlo, how you doing?
All right. How are you?
Oh, man, sounds very interesting. I was waiting for the last 20 minutes, so hope you can give me at least 5 minutes.
Oh, well, sorry you had to wait that long. Go ahead, man.
Well, yeah. Okay, what I want to talk about really is that, it's good to hear the minister come in finally. Someone seems to understand how important, the marine life is to Cayman.
Oh,
I don't think we depend on tourism and as one of the pillars of the economy.
And that's part of the big attraction of tourists.
But then again, no tourist is going to come here. Who's going to want to come and look at the Dead Sea? You take a look around the shorelines of Cayman right now, you see all of those rocks that's turning white.
Mm-hmm.
They're living microorganisms, right?
Right.
why they are dying, and what is not dying is dead, what is not dead is dying, is that the algae is crowding the rocks so they can't get adequate sunlight and oxygen. You see, because all of the juvenile fish factor has been cut off to clean those rocks. So they need each other. The rocks needs, the corals need the fish need the corals, right?
What kind of fish did you just say? The
juvenile fish.
The juvenile, okay.
Yeah. They're the ones that's cut off, but because they're always close to, the habitat is closer to shore, more accessible. So the thing is I hope it's no compromise in this whole scheme of things, because, we have already, actually pacified, and the only thing left for Cayman really to do over the years that we have been so receptive is to complete this whole emblem, put some sign in the airport that says, "Welcome to the Cayman Islands, come as you are, do as you please," because apparently it has been seeming to me that that's what's been going on. Listen, every country in the world can discriminate to protect their sovereignty. Everyone does. If the natives don't kill you in some other places for violating encroaching on their marine life or any of their inhabitants, the law protects it. Look at Florida. Florida has about 1,000 lakes. Me and you cannot go there and fishing just willy-nilly in any one.
Well, you have to have a license.
Yeah, but
the thing is, so does people living in Florida have to have a license to fish.
Right, okay. Right. They have they have a trillion times more, habitat for fish too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
In many islands do, Bahamas, Cuba, and all those places too. But you just can't go there and fishing as you please either. So what I am saying here is that there's certain species of fish that I don't see anymore. And you know what? To compound that even further, extinction is forever. There won't be any coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The unborn is coming or whatever, not gonna have the privilege, and there'll be a time in Cayman when people, and it might not be that far in the future either, gonna wish they could go down to the shores and catch a meal of fish. It's not gonna be there because all of the fish is not getting into adulthood to multiply. So the supply is being cut off by catching all of these type of fish. The time has come, no license. That is absurd. This is dire straits. It need replenishment in order to get back our fish stock, and you need to put a lot of effort and money to secure it. This is one of our greatest assets. It's long overdue. But you know what the problem is in this island with these things? Is to try to accommodate people. We depend so much on human resources. We want to handle them with kid gloves. We don't want to be, stepping on nobody's toes. We got to. Time for that is gone. This is dire straits. Desperate time requires desperate measures. There's no more compromises. Thing about fishing, but licensing and things like that. No, cut it off. Let the fish try to rebound. This is absurd to think that you can compromise these things because of people's wishes and discrimination. Well, you know what's going to happen when we really need that fish? Those people probably not even be here anymore. That this thing about compromising, seemingly like I'm hearing, it's too late for that. It's need to be cut off to the point. It's no more fishing, period, like this. No more people who, and even natives. To be honest, we need to also get a limit. That it can't make it just,
So you're saying the Caymanians also do their share of overfishing?
Of course, in these times for what we have left.
Not to mention poaching.
Right. We need to have limits and not just have laws with teeth. Put the money where it really matters. To retain and try to, retrieve what we have as a natural resource.
I still kind of like the idea of if you're going to fish, pay a small fee for an annual license, and that can go. What you're doing now? That can go to enforcing these things.
No. Listen, They find money for lesser things of lesser importance. The thing is, and plenty of Caymanians might even be will volunteer the time to help secure, and that's why you get to it too. You get to where it could be a them and us thing. If the law don't take care of what they should, if they don't implement what they should, it can get personal. I hear it's not only me talking, I hear other people repeating what they say.
Well, make your voice known, because that was one of the things that she wanted to make clear to people, that they want to hear from the public on this.
Chalo, listen, I hear what you're saying, and I can kind of understand where you're coming from, right? But when you open up a can of worms, you see, you're giving a leniency there. People is not law-abiding when they're hustling. They are desperate. These people, plenty of people is in desolation. They're not going to just say, okay, you're allowed, get fish and release. No, they're doing that to subsidize their diet, whatever, at our expense. You need strict laws. This is dire straits. I'm telling you, I'm speaking, you're talking, listen, you listen to someone who knows about this thing, period, fishing. Like the palm of my hand. I know I've seen it for many, many years. I've seen where we're going, what we had, what we got. And it's not good. Just look at the shoreline along the rocks. In case you don't know, look at those rocks that's dying. That's what caused it. There's no more juvenile fish. That's the main reason, to clean off the algae. So it's no more compromise. If there's anything less, it will only be pacifier and an exercise in futility. So I don't want to take any more time, because I guess you have somebody else who want to talk.
Yeah, someone else is in line here. Thanks for your call, though.
Yes.
Good, interesting stuff you just put on us. Yeah. Take care, man.
All right.
We have another caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I called yesterday about the same topic, this overfishing and coming up with all these laws and whatnot. And I heard it say short and sweet. I agree 100% with that last caller just a while ago there. I am one of the few younger Caymanians. I love my water too, don't get me wrong. That will voluntarily go out there when I'm not working and monitor the shorelines. Take a joke, I already talked to Mark Orr, and I talked to one other department environment officer about it, but they told me there was some other people that they were training. No, I don't want to go to no special training. I just want to be out. Let them make them people know what time it is, because you say when you go Rome, you do what the Romans do. When you come Cayman, you do what the Caymanians do. Just about 4 weeks ago, I took to my aunt's for a drive up on the eastern side. We stopped by Blowholes. And I seen 3 Filipinos down there lying shore for a $5 bucket. Of course, I can make it my business to find out what it is they catch it. I always do. I roughs up. It's a group that goes by Burger King on the waterfront in night time. And I box them up all the time. They be out there fishing for squid, reef squid. That is something, as long as I know myself, being born and raised in Grand Cayman, that have always been protected. You can't catch them, period. You're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, boy, make them throw it overboard. Some tell us I can call. I got one number all I had to do, call him, and he live in West Bay. He'd be right here within seconds, like he living in Georgetown. That's him, Mark. Oh, yep. Anyhow, I get sick and tired of it. And enforcing these laws, I don't know what sense that make, because I don't know how accurate it is, but apparently you had a fishing permit in place some time back. And that's all I heard.
You mean for non-Caymanians?
Yeah, for non-Caymanians.
Yeah, we touched on that. It was, I think you had to pay like $400 to get the permit, and somebody challenged it in court. I thought it had been ruled discriminatory, but the minister was saying that it was not ruled; it was set aside.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like the last caller said, it minor stuff that's going on right now that people being fined for, and like what sense I make to even come up with a law like that? And what they need to do is, and they got enough marine officers out there, put them out there, make a patrol the waters more often. Well, me, what I does is when I catches them doing things that I'm supposed to be doing, and even my locals too, it's a handful of them that I know for a fact that be breaking the law. And I tell them, I said, look here, I got to call police on you. I got to call police on you.
So what's this, like poaching protected species and such?
Yes. What do you do with the conch and lobsters? I've been saying this for a couple of years now. They need to close that thing down for at least 5 years. Make the population get a little break at replenishing. No, just no season. Close it down. I love my conch. I love my lobster. I actually allergic to lobster, but it's not a big reaction. It happens. I say eat it now and then. But conch, I love it. But close it down, man.
Yeah. I remember being in Little Cayman a few years ago, and these young guys went out, and when they came back, I mean, they had a boatload of conch, more than they could ever eat.
Oh, yeah.
And, they were drinking, and after a while, they were just throwing the conch back into the sea, but of course they were dead by then.
Yeah. That next thing, when they get these conchs out, they pop the shells and throw the shells right back in the same area where the live conchs are. That runs them eventually. I like to hang around no dead body. So, yeah. As we speaking right now, you probably got some of them down in West Bay. Now we're from down in West Bay. Now I don't care if they hear me. Oh, they're now water terrorizing the place. Yep. Like what you say, boatload of conch. Lobster season open right now. None of the two of them open right now, and they're still getting them. But of course, I'm at work, so I can't do nothing right now. So the only way I get is break.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your call. You have a good afternoon.
I take it upon myself to enforce it.
You're a good citizen.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I told bucket all overboard when I really get so vexed. That literally right now on my behalf, but yeah.
All right, take care. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
It's all about Immerse Summer Camp 2025. Calling all adventurers ages 10 to 14. Join us for a week of hands-on fun, field trips and expert-led sessions inspired by the museum's exhibits. Choose week 1, July 21 to 25, or week 2, July 28 to August 1, with camp running daily from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Just $200 a week with limited spots available. Explore, discover, and create this summer. Visit museum.ky/immerse for more information.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today, and the subject has been who can fish in Cayman, and we had the Minister on, Minister of Health, Environment and Sustainability, the Honorable Katherine Ebanks-Wilkes, telling us that the government has issued instructions for drafting that would restrict non-Caymanians from being able to take marine life. And a WhatsApp message here in relation to that, they actually added to a WhatsApp that they had sent before, saying, so if you fish, they said that there should be a blanket license, but maybe the fee would be waived for Caymanians. So if you fish, then you should have the license with you, similar to spear fishing. Waterproof the license with a necklace to be worn. Without a license, the enforcement would be chaotic. Just to say I support the legislation, but make it right and workable and enforceable. Okay, and he's saying those things on the Iron Shore that are hard to get off. Chitons, I guess that's how you pronounce it. They're actually a protected species and should not be taken from Cayman waters. It's a mollusk, right? That's what she was saying. One of the callers was saying that squid is also protected. I didn't know that actually, but I guess there's a number of species that are protected. And it's good to know that if you're going to be going down and taking marine species. So this legislation is going to be coming, and the public is going to be invited to offer their views on it. So everybody will have a chance to give some input on this. And I know some people have some very passionate feelings about it. And the whole cultural mix that we have now, that plays into a big part of it, because there are people who eat things from the sea that we normally would not eat here, and also the fact that maybe they are not earning that much. They may be on, minimum pay, and they go and take these things from the ocean, fish and otherwise, to help make ends meet. So that complicates things, such as the taking of species that may be protected here, but where they come from, it's a common thing to go and make a meal out of them. What do you think about this? What else is going on here? Well, if you have small children, be sure their vaccines, and I'm talking about the MMR shots, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, are up to date, because measles are having a little spike in the States. We have a caller on the line, so let's check in with the phone lines. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Glidden.
Yes, how are you doing?
Okay, and you?
I'm doing all right. All right. Have you been listening to our show?
Huh?
Have you been listening to what's going on?
Yeah.
About the fishing?
Yeah, I've been listening. I never really heard the minister say what would be the consequences if someone is caught fishing in without a license.
Well, I guess that's to come. Remember, this isn't even drafted yet. They've just given instructions to prepare a draft. And then there's also that consultation period. So I guess the consequences is to be decided later.
Yeah, but that's the part that's going to count the most.
Yeah, that's what's going to deter people.
Yeah, so that part gotta be serious. And
What do you think would be a suitable penalty?
A suitable penalty?
Yeah.
It will put a charge on you that if you're caught again, your permit will be cancelled.
The work permit.
Yeah, if you caught once and you go to court and they give you a fine, and the judge tells you do not come back in front of them again for that, or you will be deported. That's what the consequences have to be.
Okay.
And when it comes to the importance about this law is people before from foreign countries were fishing in off the iron shore, off the shorelines, especially the iron shore area that I know of in Norwest Point. And I see these people putting fish in the bucket 4 inches, some 4 inches long.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would see them catch them. I would think they would throw them back overboard, but they put them down in the bucket. And they just take them away and carry them home.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
And you see, that's the same thing they were doing in their countries. That's why when certain countries now, like Jamaica, you can't throw a line overboard in Jamaica on an shore and catch anything.
Really?
You better believe, really. Because that's what they did up there. Caught all the little small fish. But you go there now and throw a line overboard, you can't catch nothing. Only how you can catch anything if you got a boat and you can go a good distance. So this law is very important because if you leave these people alone, you will not be able to catch anything off the shoreline. And because a lot of them don't have any boats to go out,
yeah,
they'll take advantage in fishing off the shoreline.
Yeah, that's the only way they can fish.
Yeah, and anything they catch, they're putting in the frying pan. So the seriousness of this law has to be the consequences. The first offense, you go in front of the judge, you pay a fine. The second offense, I'm being warned by the judge that if you come back in front of them again for the same offense, you will be deported. Then they will realize how serious Caymanians are about when it comes to our environment. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for the call. You take care.
Okay.
And that's one of our frequent callers there. And just before that, I'd started talking about... do we have another caller? Oh, okay. I started talking about the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine that Cayman's public health officials are putting out a call to make parents aware that they should have their children's MMR shots up to date. And this is stemming from an outbreak of measles in the States. And, it feels kind of strange to be talking about a measles outbreak in 2025. I mean, kind of thought modern medicine had that under control, but no. Still breaks out every so often. Measles are trying to make a comeback, especially in communities where there's a strong anti-vax sentiment, apparently. Texas has been in the news for outbreaks of measles, certain areas there. As a matter of fact, in the U.S., there have been almost 1,300 confirmed cases of measles, and that's from the Centers for Disease Control. 25 years ago, they thought they had actually eliminated measles, but here it is again, mainly because people haven't gotten the vaccine. If you don't get the vaccine, well, it's out there lurking and it pops up again. And the thing about measles, I know a lot of people aren't really that familiar with them, that disease, but it's not just a bad rash and feeling sick. Measles can cause death. Yeah, it can cause death. So it's nothing to play around with, It's especially when you have children. And apparently, in the case of the MMR, it's the fear of autism that people give why they say they don't want the vaccine or they don't want to give the children the vaccine shot. That's the driving force behind it. It's said that the theory of MMR causing autism has been disproven. Of course, many people who are against the vaccines, they don't buy that. No. They still believe that the MMR will cause autism. I know there's parents that swear up and down that their child was totally normal until they got that vaccine. And then suddenly, everything changed. They weren't the same child anymore. I know a lot of investigation has gone into it, and it's been said that no, there's no real danger there. I mean, every kind of medicine has some kind of side effects. All you have to do is watch those pharmaceutical commercials on TV. The commercial is a minute long, and 30 seconds of it is listing the things that could possibly go wrong. And you say, wow, a lot of things could go wrong if I take that. Do I want to take that? Well, that's the thing. A lot of medicine, even surgeries, have risk attached to it. And it's a matter of, do you want to take that risk? What are the odds? 9 out of 10 times, everything is okay. But you don't want to be that one time, right? But you have to decide whether you want to take that chance or not. I know some people that say, they should have the vaccine, but they shouldn't give them that cocktail, the MMR combination vaccine, all in one go. They say, a child's system is, a very young child is fragile, still developing, and they can't handle all of that vaccine at one time. So they say, give the child the vaccine, but give it to them in separate doses over a certain period of time. I've heard that argument. Now, some anti-vax people, of course, go much further. It seems they don't want any kind of vaccine. No vaccines at all. I guess it's a good thing they weren't around in the 1950s when Jonas Salk was doing his wonderful work, developing a vaccine against polio. If they had, most of my generation would probably be walking around with a limp or a withered arm, maybe even died, because that was a fantastic breakthrough. Jonas Salk, when it was announced that in 1955 it was, that he had accomplished the development of an anti-polio vaccine, and I think he worked at it for 7 years. He was hailed as a miracle worker. Yeah, I mean, that's how bad it was. But now get this. Jonas Salk, having developed the anti-polio vaccine, he didn't patent it, or did he seek to make any profit from it. And he did that in order to maximize the global distribution, that everybody could get this vaccine. That's not the kind of thing we hear about today, right? Let's take a break. Be right back.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Get ready for something sweet, spicy, and totally crave-worthy. The hot honey chicken sandwich is here, and it's bringing the heat. We've taken our tender, juicy chicken and drenched it in bold hot honey sauce for the perfect balance of sweetness and spice. But hurry, this one's only here for a limited time. Hot honey chicken. Try it today before it's gone. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its customers of roadworks in Cayman Brac that will take place from Wednesday, July 23rd to Friday, July 25th. The work, which will be conducted overnight, is being undertaken to upgrade the water supply infrastructure and support ongoing leak detection efforts in the area. There will be some traffic disruptions and temporary service interruptions to customers in the area during the work. On Wednesday, July 23rd, works will take place at the intersection of Cross Road and Weston Road from midnight to 6 a.m. Customers in the following areas will experience an interruption of service during this period. All customers on the northern side of Cayman Brac, as well as a portion of Cross Road between the Water Authority's West End Waterworks and Weston Road. On Thursday, July 24th, works will take place at the intersection of Cross Road and Jared Smith Avenue from midnight till 6 a.m. Customers in the following areas will experience an interruption of service during this period. All customers on the southern side of Cayman Brac, a portion of Cross Road between the junction of Jared Smith Avenue and the Water Authority's West End Waterworks, Jared Smith Avenue, including all side roads, and Southside Road West. On Friday, July 25th, works will take place at the intersection of Dennis Foster Road and Terrace Drive from midnight till 6 a.m. Customers in the following area will experience an interruption of service during this period. All customers on the northern side of Cayman Brac, east of Colonel Street. The motoring public is asked to exercise caution while driving in the area, as our crew will be actively working on the road during this time, and follow all traffic management signs. The Water Authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's go straight to the phone lines. We have a caller that's been patiently waiting there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hey, good afternoon. Sorry, I apologize. I just actually got home and my dogs are barking, so I apologize for the noise in the background.
Okay.
I've been listening to the show.
He's happy to see you.
Yes, he is. I was just thinking it's important to continue to use the word harvest in that proposal that is being brought by the Minister for Environment as per the press release. So there's a difference between harvesting and fishing. And it's an important distinction because we don't want to get the wrong narrative in the public that we would stop persons who are non-Caymanians, particularly those who are tourists, from the luxury of sport fishing and leisure fishing. But the key component I think the government is getting, and I'm not here to speak on behalf of the government, but I am here to support them in this endeavor if they get the legal drafting right, which is harvesting, which is taking and consuming away from its natural environment. So
what harvesting would be more like Wilks or something?
No, harvesting is taking away and using. So fishing, you can fish and release.
Yeah.
So the terminology fishing isn't the appropriate one, and that's why if you see specifically in the statement that they release, they use the word harvest. Harvest meaning you're going to consume it, and it's not like you intend to bring it back or put it back into the water. You're taking it away or consuming it. So harvesting, because I want to make sure that the public will eventually support the government on this endeavor, because it's going to have to be some legal maneuvering, as in the wording, to make sure that there's not discrimination and different factors. So I want to start to fully inform the country the difference between harvesting and fishing, because we don't want
matter of terminology.
Yeah.
I think she said something about they could get a permit. A non-Caymanian would be able to get a permit to catch and release.
Yes, and that would be probably geared more to those who are doing it for sport reasons. But we do need to change the culture from an enforcement perspective to say that, listen, you can't be out there taking fish from the sea. And if we can drop those infractions on our marine life by a whopping 80%, can you imagine what our marine life would come back to? Maybe one day a Cayman can actually go out and get a squab or get a snapper or something like that, because I can't tell the last time I've been able to catch one due to the overfishing component. And we got to make sure to protect the future for the kids. So I'll leave you there, but I just thought it was an important distinction.
All right. Thank you so much for the call.
No problem. Bye.
Yeah, so that's a good point there. I really haven't heard that terminology as far as harvesting in relation to actual fishing. That's why I was thinking of more like you're going down the iron shore and you're picking wilks off and putting them in a bucket. Like, to me, that would be harvesting. But apparently in other jurisdictions, harvesting is used as a term of, taking from the sea overall. So interesting point there. And well, we learned a couple of things about the animals that the minister was talking about. We pretty much have confirmation of, I guess the scientific name is chitons, but Caymanians call them sea sucks. That's what we were talking about, taking sea sucks. And again, with this whole mix of cultures that we have here in Cayman, people eat foods that we or items from the sea that we would never think of eating, right? Those small little reef fish, who's going to bother to try and catch them and eat them? But in some cultures, that's what they're used to. And as someone made the point, some of the juvenile fish are easier to get because they're closer to shore. And so they're being overfished. We have a caller on the line. Let's take a quick call because it's almost 2:00. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon. Am I on the air?
Yes, you're on the air.
Hi, Jallo. How are you?
I'm fine. You got to make it quick. We're almost to the news.
Oh wow. Well, I'll make it quick. From catching fries to 12 Mile Bank.
Uh-huh.
I'll wait around for the next suggestion on what those requirements would be. Okay. Have a good day.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, I don't know about the 12-mile banks. I think once it's out beyond our territorial waters, I don't know if we can do anything about that. You know, is it still 3 miles? I think some areas, some jurisdictions bring it closer in. But once you get out so far, it's nothing that we can really do out on the high seas. Well, it is coming up on 2 o'clock, so that means it's news time. Let's see what's happening.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
Michael Phelps inspired thousands at the Lions International Convention in Orlando this morning. He shared his personal journey of hard work driven by a teacher's doubt that he'd ever succeed. Phelps emphasized mental health as equal to physical health, echoing Lions' global initiatives. The convention hosts delegates from across the world, including Radio Cayman's very own Lion Paulette Connolly-Bailey. Tune in tonight's Local Sports for more on this story. Good afternoon once again. I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee says he has asked Israeli authorities to aggressively investigate the killing of a Palestinian American in the occupied West Bank. Sefoya Musayet, known as Saif, a 20-year-old dual U.S. citizen from Florida, was beaten to death by Israeli settlers in the town of Sinjil on Friday evening, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. And Thai police have arrested a woman who allegedly had sexual relations with monks and then used photos and videos of the acts to extort money from them. The woman, who police are calling Miss Gulf, had sex with at least 9 monks, police said in a press conference on Tuesday. They believe she received around $11.9 million over the past 3 years. Investigators who searched her house found more than 80,000 photos and videos used to blackmail the monks, the police spokesman said. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market. The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today. And big topic this afternoon has been restricting fishing in Cayman. We also learn about sea sucks, also scientifically known as chitons, I think it is. And some things that are actually protected, such as squid. I didn't realize squid was protected, but so are those sea sucks. They are protected and can't be taken at any time, along with periwinkles and bleeding teeth. I came across a story here in Cayman News Service, and it actually goes back to, we had talked about the report from the Economics and Statistics Office, and they picked up on a point here in that report, and this was from late last year, the fall report, the ESO 2024 Fall Labor Force Survey. That's more than 23,000 people living in the Cayman Islands moved here over the 5-year period from the end of 2019 to the end of 2024. Of course, that included the COVID period. So, we had the shutdown and then a resurgence, because if you remember, when the country opened back up after that shutdown, because of COVID, it was like the floodgates had opened, right? I mean, we had been quiet for that time during the shutdown, and then here it came. We opened up, and it seemed we came back with a vengeance as far as development and so forth. And all the people who had gone away, they'd lost their jobs and they went away. All those people either had to come back or had to be replaced. And so much has happened since 2020. I mean, in the 5 years, it's amazing the construction that has gone on in Cayman. Construction of buildings and roads, but mainly the development. And of course, all that means that you need laborers to come in. And there's been so much infrastructure going on. Everywhere you look, there's cement being poured or somebody putting up something, and all that means people. And actually the headline is half of Cayman's population moved here after 2009. And all this is coming from that Economics and Statistics Office 2024 fall labor force survey. As a Caymanian, sometimes you go to the grocery store and it is amazing. You look around and you feel like, seems like I'm the only Caymanian in here. Of course, these days you never know. Sometimes it's hard to tell who is Caymanian, and some people that you might not suspect are Caymanian are very much Caymanian. Things are not as easy to determine as what it was, back in the 70s, the 1970s, that is. So we have undergone quite a cultural shock when you see it in these terms here, that half of the population moved here since 2009. 23,000 people have come to Cayman since 2019. So that kind of jars you when you actually see it in those terms. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello.
Yes.
Clydas.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, man.
Good. Two things. One, the fishing controversy is starting to go on.
Right.
And that ESO report. But first, the fishing from the shoreline with non-Caymanians requiring a permit.
Which would be catch and release, apparently.
Okay.
You chuckle at that.
Yes. We have, what's the motto of the Cayman Islands? We see on...
we are founded, he hath founded it on the seas.
Upon the seas. And that is becoming more and more applicable as time goes on, and it sort of gives the impetus for the urgency for us to do something about protecting where we were founded.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, whatever it takes. I mean, even lobster, conch, fish. I've said, I can't recall actually saying it publicly on radio, but I've expressed it amongst some friends and colleagues that we should, taking conch and lobster as an example, we should ban them or taking of them for a couple of years, give them a couple of years good to recover. The same thing when it comes to fishing.
You're the second caller that has said that.
Okay.
So you're not alone in thinking that way.
Thanks. And highlight one of the early callers. I made a couple of good points as well, but I didn't catch all of what he said. But having said all of that, I congratulate government for taking the initiative to try and be proactive, which most governments that's not their forte. And as you being a civil servant for right now, I don't expect you to comment on
I'm a
that.
guest civil servant.
Okay. So kudos to government for taking initiative. And no, it's not going to be easy to implement it, and we're probably not going to get it right the first time. But if you don't try, you sure as hell don't know whether you're going to succeed or fail.
Right. But let me ask you something. I know you fish and you were out there on the sea. What are you observing as far as, fish population and so forth?
Oh, no, Charlo, it has been a major decline in the fish population. Even, like on weekends, when I get opportunity, I'll go down to primarily 12 Mile Bank or Eastern or whatever, deep sea fishing. And now your catches aren't what they used to be. Snorkeling along the reefs, the amount of fish you see there now, definitely isn't what you would used to see in the 70s. Conch, you could actually walk along Barkers in years gone by and pick up more than you needed or wanted without getting your knees wet.
Yeah.
Lobster whips were out of the water. Those days have gone. So definitely putting a ban also on other forms of marine life, I think is a must, because the person going out there now, you got 100, 200 charter boats up in the North Sound, and in 6 months they each take 10 a day. The marine parks are serving a purpose, but because of the current regulations, I don't have any scientific proof to prove what I'm saying, but I definitely think that with the current amount you're allowed to take is more than the natural population is increasing. Even though I said the parks are doing their job, if they were allowed to be there sort of undisturbed for a good period of time, not 6 months of the year, you could see a good increase in those lobsters and fish and conch.
Yeah, give them a real chance to come back.
Yes. But as it is right now, I don't think it's being as effective as it could be.
What do you think about permits for everybody? Like how it is in Florida. If you want to fish, you got to go get a permit.
Charlo, I concur with that completely. You want to drive a vehicle, you need a permit. You want to ride a bicycle, but you no longer need to license them. I think they took the license off bicycles.
Now it's the e-bikes.
There we go. We're changing with the times.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
But you think everybody that wants to fish should make a contribution by having to buy a license?
Yes, because the sea is a major attraction. It's a major way of life for a number of Caymanians. But like I've said before on radio, this cultural genocide is happening on the island. I mean, my grandchildren, yours and some others, everyone else's, they're not going to get to see or experience what is truly Caymanian.
Yeah.
All they know about now is the fast food restaurants and TikTok and all the rest of it. So I really hope that the current administration, put a lot more emphasis on what it truly means to be Caymanian.
And the sea is very much a part of being Cayman and our culture.
Yeah. It's our motto. It's funded upon the seas. I mean, is that just a sound bite, or are we going to pay homage to that?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There are a lot of things that needs to be done here, but unless we protect Cayman, then it's going to all be for art in the not too distant future. Because it is evident by that ESO report, as I said, over half of our population has been here since 2009, or has arrived here since 2009.
Right, arrived since 2009.
Which other country, territory has experienced that level of growth? I mean, come on. Like I said before, I'll say it again. If the government is not going to use ESO reports, then shut down the department.
Yeah. And they do give you some good stats, I'll tell you that.
They do an excellent job, but their work is not being utilized.
I mean, some people might look at that 23,000 and say, well, that's not that many people. But if you put it in terms of a larger country, UK or US, and you said, well, several million people have arrived,
yeah,
they would be shocked too, I think.
Of course. I mean, Grand Cayman, which is where most of these things are happening, you get a small village in one of these North America and South America and European countries.
Yeah.
A little village has more people than we do.
Exactly.
But in my view, the fees for immigration, work permits, are playing such an important role in government's finances that they are reluctant to touch that. Now, if they stop or they reduce the amount of revenue they get from that, where are they going to get those additional funds for if they want to provide the same level of service? Say it again, there has to be some form of income property tax, and I will continue to say that until I can no longer say it. And I know I have a good partner in kind there, Mr. Mickey.
Yeah. Well, they used to call him the tax man, right?
The tax man commissioner.
Yeah. So you think there should be a property tax?
Property, income, both, but something other than expecting the middle and lower income people to keep funding this consumption-based economy that we are living in.
Yeah.
Just the lower, consume. The more you consume, the more we make.
Yeah, because we say we don't have any income tax, but then it seems like you're being nickeled and dimed all over the place for everything.
Right. It's not going to go direct. But, I mean, we have X number of people here who earn a very, very good income. Now, Caymanians included, they use our services locally, so they got paid for them. So, yes, they are contributing to the economy. But then what we're contributing a little extra to ensure that we're able to sort of maintain this quality of life. And there are very, very few countries in the world that don't have any sort of direct taxation, but they have other means of revenue that they don't really have to sort of disrupt the social fabric too much.
Yeah.
And I'm a retiree. If the government decides that at a certain point over that particular income, you pay a tax, I am willing to pay that. But hopefully that will offset the cost for other people, Caymanians and non-Caymanians alike. And I think we Caymanians have to get off this thing about people working here and sending the money home. That's what made Cayman. Our forefathers going to sea and sending home the allotments.
As a matter of fact, I think some of them, they, like with national bulk carriers, I think it was mandatory, right? The company just sent so much of your pay home.
Yeah. And during those times, you paid your head tax before you were able to get on the flight.
Yeah.
I think you had to pay at the airport. So, Caymanians do not, I mean, I know a number of the younger folks are not aware of this because our history isn't really taught in our schools. So a lot of that they don't know about. But at one point in time, there was a direct income tax in the island.
Yeah, with that head tax.
Not income, but there was a tax that only the men had to pay, males.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's nothing, quote unquote, new to us. To some of the younger folks, yes. So, Chalo, I think I took up more than what I wanted to be on the show today. But no, again, kudos to government for doing an initiative and just look at implementing some form of a period where conch, lobster can get some reasonable chance of their population coming back to a reasonable degree as to where they were many moons ago.
Yeah, because even with that off season, you still got guys going out there and poaching, right? I mean, that's a reality.
Mm-hmm. So, give DOE necessary enforcement tools, utilize the reports that ESO produce, or save a couple dollars and close it down. But if you're not going to use it, what's the use of having it there?
Yeah.
So, on that note, my friend, you have a good afternoon. And
Clytus, great to hear from you.
Good to hear you on the radio.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the call. Have a great afternoon.
And to you, my friend.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Some good points raised there, because ESO does put out a lot of information. As a matter of fact, we had the director on what was it, Thursday? Yeah. And, he made some interesting and very informative comments when we were talking about this whole thing. And for instance, one of the things that he pointed out that, when we talk about lowering the cost of living, that's a very complex issue there. Because I raised the point of some people who say that increasing the minimum wage is going to be inflationary. And he says, well, there's so many things contributing to the cost of living that the minimum wage is just a very small slice of that pie that is contributing to, especially for Cayman, the cost of living in Cayman. Well, that's it for Talk Today. Thanks to everyone who's called in and participated. I'm Charles Glidden. Have a great afternoon.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.